Hello and welcome to another episode of The Realtor. This is where we go, we move around, we explore, and we make sure that we bring to you all that matters when it comes to real estate. And I'm very categorical when it comes to land and the housing or the houses, because these are two major concerns that almost every Kenyan has. And today I'm at a place that I would love you to join me and we get to know more about land and especially the current state of land buying and selling in Kenya. My name is Robert Dongo. Karibu sana. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I'm happy to have you. I would like you just to say hi. Utuambie wewe ni nani?
Asante.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Dongo, for hosting me.
Most welcome.
Yeah. My name is Peter Gitao Karaoke.
Right.
Director with the Olive Limited real estate company. Incorporated was incorporated in 2014.
Right.
And we are dealing with matters with land.
Okay.
Yes.
Matters land. Mr. Gitao, and when you talk about land in Kenya, I think it arouses a lot of, I'll start with answers, then come to a lot of emotions, a lot of things, mixed reactions, truth be told. And when we get people who are like you, who are in it, we get the best bottom line to start talking about this, the fact of production, so-called land. Now, just in a nutshell, you can share with us the state of land buying and selling in Kenya, just in your own experience.
In my own experience, matters with land and selling in Kenya, since the administration of former President late Moi Kibaki, the trajectory of land buying in Kenya changed. And initially, because of the growth of the economy and infrastructure growth, political stability, there was that demand, high demand of land.
Right.
And the rise in demand of land has not ceased since then. If you compare during the Moi's era and Kibaki's era,
right,
those are two different eras in matters with land.
Right.
And because, one, we must agree that Kenya is the gateway to East and Central Africa.
Sure.
And also Africa. If you look at the economic growth of our economy, of our country,
right,
it has really changed how people think, how people live, and so many other things.
Sure.
One, most of the companies, international companies, name them Google,
right,
made Kenya to be their headquarters of Africa. What does that translate? And I want to mean generally what we call the direct foreign money that has been injected to the economy has also contributed to the growth of this area of real estate. The demand for office space, the demand for residential, the demand for industrial parks.
Right.
All of these has made the real estate really to change within a very short time.
Right.
And to be very specific, with all the other factors, we look at the new infrastructures. Government for the last 15 years, let's say 20 years since Kibaki's time, the infrastructure's growth has opened up new areas
big time.
In big time.
Right.
Look at all the bypasses that have been constructed, the expansion of our major roads.
Right.
Yeah, that has really impacted on the growth of the real estate generally. And also the increase of the upper and middle income earners has also contributed to the growth of demand of land.
Right.
But within that context, we get a mix of so many challenges and issues that are surrounding.
And of course, we are coming to that because I believe you're studying it as a solution, because many people out there are skeptical when it comes to matters land and property at large. And you've mentioned why I want us to dwell much in land is because you are you have vast experience. At the same time, when you talk about the factors of production, land comes in handy. We cannot have capital, we cannot talk about entrepreneurship or even labor without land. So everything centralizes here. And you've mentioned about the the opening in land demand. Could that have been also a gateway to fraudsters and the mischiefs that we've been having in the industry?
Yeah, we have if there is something that is genuine,
right,
we always go get a counterfeit.
Exactly.
We always get counterfeit to imitate the genuine.
Yeah.
But this challenge can be overcome.
Right.
We have so many fraudsters masquerading like they are really genuine. And in fact, what we, let me say we,
right,
as Olive Limited, we've taken this task to give information to the public in matters. How do we take a process of buying land?
Right.
You know exactly.
Right.
Because if we know how the process of acquiring a piece of land, if we know those processes, definitely we will not be cheated.
Agreed.
We will not be cheated.
Right.
Because majority, most of Kenyans, they don't know really what is the process of acquiring land. And I can say in a nutshell,
right,
so that we also inform the public.
Sure.
Why are they being misguided, or are they being cheated on matters with land?
Right.
Because you end up seeing people raising placards, haki yetu. But if they really did their due diligence,
right,
or they followed the due process of acquiring land, they will not get themselves in the situation they usually get themselves.
Right.
And one, in a nutshell,
right,
if you want to acquire land, this is the process that you need. Once you have identified that land, identify these. There is a willing buyer, there is a willing seller. You are a buyer. And maybe you have been shown this is the land that I want to buy.
Right.
The first thing that you request from that vendor or the seller, right, is a copy of the title.
And allow me cut you short for a minute, because I think this thing is deeper than and the direction you're taking is what I really want these people to hear. But before we get there, we have this concern about you as Olive Limited, you taking it to the public. You make sure that it's kind of a civic education to the public. And do you think in your own thinking and perception that you have the support from the government to make sure that Kenyans are not losing anymore?
Unfortunately, yeah, we have bodies that regulate real estate agents.
Right.
Yeah. And most of Kenyans don't know that it's a body that regulates real estate agents.
Right.
That matters with buying and selling of land, there is a regulator.
Yeah.
And also the relevant offices that you are supposed to get the right information about matters with land.
Right.
So what I can say is lack of that information.
Exactly.
And the government has not been in support. Let me be very true.
Right.
If you can see, initially, if you look at in Nairobi, the old estates, you will see government initially was to put infrastructures, water, sewage system, right, lighting. Right. They went ahead before the investors came. But right now, already, because of the expansion, the demand of land, so people or private investors have overpassed the government capacity. The government doesn't really have policies to enlighten people on matters with land. If they can take that initiative, it don't require so many laws. The existing laws are there, but the public participation, in terms enlightening the public, if the government can invest in that, right, we'll have all these fraudsters just vanish.
And why I had to go that direction, Gitau, is simply because when I was doing my background check about Olive Limited, I realized we are one of the companies that have got zero scandal, in the past. And I was asking myself, why don't we have, everyone engaging in real estate maybe take this path that we can be a solution instead of otherwise. But now, when you talk about the regulatory authorities and agencies, has there been any effort by the private sector, you people, approaching the government? Let's say Olive Limited is standing tall, saying that now the government must chip in, join hands, and we protect the general public.
You see, there are laws, we are not short of laws,
right,
to protect the public, but being ignorant The masses,
right.
The masses are ignorant of their rights and even the laws that are governing matters with land.
Exactly.
So, and that's where majority fail. One, you become very busy to find money, and you don't create time to also see how you are going to protect it in matters in investment. And that's where you fail.
Right.
When you are maybe want to acquire a piece of land, you must do what you call a diligence.
Yes.
That is the first thing. And I want to tell the public right now that matters with buying land is not just an event. It's a process.
It's a process. Agreed.
It's a process. Once you know it's a process, and somebody is telling you, no, just pay cash, just pay, don't agree with that. It's a process.
Lipa tukupeleke.
In a signing, the process usually takes 90 days. The legal time that you're supposed to, a transaction of land, however small it is, it doesn't matter the value, 90 days. That's the process that is the time that you are supposed to take to complete an entire transaction of land.
Right.
And if people do follow that process, I think the fraud, I'm telling you, the fraudsters will just vanish.
All right.
Yeah, automatically. We don't require even more laws. We don't require punitive laws that want to be introduced.
I believe if these people could bear me witness, is that some of them just found themselves into it simply because they were ignorant, as you said. Number two is because we as land dealers, and I want to exempt Olive from this case for a reason that we have also mastered a mechanism of making sure that we lure people into the same. But because we're not here to discuss about scandal, I want us to look at the bigger picture of where we are headed as a country and as far as land business is concerned. And because our time is fast moving, I believe we're going to take this further and further even in days to come. I want us to take a short break. Then after that, we shall be back with Mr. Gitao telling us about digitization of the land systems and more so where we are when it comes to what he has for us, because he's studying in as a solution. Don't go away, because after this, we'll be right back.
You are watching TV 47, the home of untold stories.
Endoscopy is laden with myths. Endoscopy per se is done within 10 to 30 minutes. Weight problems is becoming a pandemic. Join us this Thursday, 8 p.m. as we talk about endoscopy, colonoscopy, and weight loss. And I'll be host, Dr. Charles.
You are watching TV 47, the home of untold stories.
Hello and welcome back. This is the Realtor. Thank you for keeping it here, because I assure you, or I tell you, we've got more than you could imagine. Today we are cutting across a certain line that we've not been doing in the past, because this thing is coming on the surface and we can no longer conceal it. We can no longer, hide it, because it concerns you, it concerns me, and that's why today we have Mr. Gitao, who is doing it right on ground, and he is here to demystify. Tell us more about how we can overcome these obstacles and how he is doing it now that he's studying as a solution when it comes to matters land investment in Kenya. And once again, gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm so glad to have it, because what you're giving us, I cannot give these people. Karibu. Now, before we proceed, and I thought this was an important point for us to to put clear. In the recent past, there has been this proposed bill, quote unquote, that there's a model that somebody feels that they should be able to regulate all these problems that we have. And if I may quote it, it is said that whoever is engaging in that business should have maybe a guarantor, a security, if I call it so, of 500 million. And maybe a fine of 5 million, could there be a case or a front case? Do you think, or do you support this, or what's your take? Are we in the right direction, or it's just another gimmick?
Let me be very sincere.
Right.
That one will not solve will not be the solution. telling people to raise $500 million for you to
As security.
security for you to undertake business matters with real estate.
Right.
It's not a solution because people can do mega projects of billions, and since you are licensed, then you can run away. I think that is not the right thing. And if we can borrow from CBK, the way our current governor brought sanity in banking,
Right.
even with the DFS, that is deposit that every bank is supposed to raise with their CBK.
Right.
There were still banks that were going under, but he brought sanity because of the policies he introduced. Yeah, and I didn't change the laws so much.
Right.
That you are supposed to raise
Sorry.
this amount of money, because being punitive, because that's a punitive thing. One, we create entrepreneurship.
Right.
Yeah. How many people are dependent to this industry? So many people.
Right.
If you look at the kind of circulation of money that is in the real estate,
Right.
it's big. It's big.
Yes.
Big. And that's why we have so many complaints when Adisasa is not really working, because I want to charge my property, I cannot access or
Yes.
these other things.
Yes.
So that is not the solution. But the solution is to inform people.
Right.
Yeah, civic education is the bottom line of all these things. Because
Wow.
once I know that this is the process I'm supposed to take,
Right.
yeah, definitely, I'll be able to verify that this is a fraudster, it's a genuine person, and it's about matters with information. And we are at the information age. Why can't they even come up with apps? But digitization,
Right.
is going to bring all these things.
Okay.
To finish all these fraudsters, because one, you will not be able to sell land that doesn't belong to you.
Exactly.
Because that's what really happens. And I want maybe in a nutshell, if
Right.
you allow,
Right.
to just tell people just a small process how you are supposed to verify
Sure.
if this is a genuine seller of this land.
Right.
The person who is selling land to you must have this document, the title deed, original title deed, and the name. If it's a company, the title deed bears the name of the company.
Right.
Yeah. If it's an individual, the title deed bears the name of the individual,
Right.
and the ID number. They tally. We start from there.
Right.
They tally, because you can have a title deed that belongs to your dad.
Yes.
Yeah. And since maybe your dad is also passed, maybe you want to call your brothers.
Right.
And you can try and sell that land. But that's where we start. Once you know the process, then from there, once you do the search, you go to the local land registry, do a proper search. Yeah. A search have so many things, because you can go there and get the wrong search. In those
Registry offices are.
yes, make sure it has these features. It has been signed by the registrar.
Absolutely.
And it has the seal of the registrar.
Sure.
Sometimes you get a search doesn't have a seal. That is not authentic.
Sure.
Even if you take it to the court,
It's
not
just
our-
paper.
Yes, just
a paper, right.
So once you have verified that this is the seller is the real owner of this land,
Right.
then from there, go to the ground, verify from the neighbors if he's the real owner of this.
Yes,
Then
yes,
from
yes,
there,
yes.
go back to the registry, buy what we call an RIM, that is Registry Index Map. That shows exactly, because I can show you land
yeah.
in Kiambu,
Yeah.
in Roiro, but the land is in Kikuyu.
Exactly.
So you can only verify that information from now that registry index map. And here as Olive, we usually inform people how the process they are supposed to follow. We don't
Right.
have that hurry to take your money. We allow you to
Bwana Gitau, still on that point, there are these people who are trapped in this narrative of mother title. And I believe there are Kenyans who have also lost. You as Olive, what are you doing to make sure that people are not trapped in this narrative of we've got the mother title, we have the mutation, the land is subdivided, and then what you're waiting for is just the printing of the rest of title deeds. Could there be a trap by having the map the title that is not already printed into the plots?
If you are dealing with a mother title, at least you are a bit safe.
A bit.
Yes.
Right.
Because the reason is, at least if it's a company, that means the company owns the land. If the search results shows that this is the real owner of the land,
right,
at least you know you are buying from a genuine person.
Okay.
Now, if you are looking at the actual, that parcel that you have, the process, they tell you there is a process of subdivision. Yes, there always that process of subdivision. And you can buy it once it is, the mutation is approved.
Right.
An approved mutation consists of the RM numbers. Already are there. So the part that is remaining is only the printing of the title.
Yes.
So in fact, you can refer to that very LN number that is on the mutation.
Right.
Even to cancer.
I had this concern from a very close follower. sorry, a very close follower of this, this program, and there was this concern: do the mother title become obsolete the moment a mutation is approved, or will they still go concurrently?
The moment, no. Once the mutation has been approved,
right,
it doesn't become obsolete. It becomes obsolete when now the new title deed has been issued.
Okay.
Because you must surrender now this mother title.
Right.
It remains at the registry. In records, it remains in the pacified record. It shows this land was this acreage, it was subdivided, and these are mother titles, and it's produced new title.
You get it right, and you hear it from the horse's mouth. And I told you, these things are things that matter. They may sound petty or things of minor importance, but I tell you, these are things that can see you safe or frauded when it comes to matters buying and selling of land, property here in Kenya. Now, Mr. Gitau, I believe when we had the former CS lands, Madam Karure, introducing the digitization of land systems, and Nairobi was picked as a pilot project. I want you to tell us, as Olive, what's your experience with this digitization and whether we still have a future, just in less than a minute.
So, the land digitization is a good thing that the government is initiating.
Sure.
And despite the challenges, because we have a lot of challenges in terms of it is not easy even for that Alisasa app to open.
Right.
Yeah. The system is clogged. It really doesn't work. And that's why we saw lawyers even petitioning the land CS, or the current land CS,
right.
Because land matters handles a lot of money and transactions.
Sure.
And since the experience now we have is that it is not working.
Right.
It's not really working. And maybe what we can advise the government is they could have zoned Nairobi, because Nairobi is big. It's big. Right. They could have zoned Nairobi into several areas. If it is Eastlands, Southlands, Westlands, they start by identifying one zone. Once they are complete, they allow the other zone, rather than clogging the system. All of people trying to log in.
Right.
Hundreds of thousands, and the system is not really able, maybe, to.
So, in other words, in what here there. Now, I believe with devolution, Olive, and I talked about the background check. With devolution, we've been able to take Kenyans to different places. And just briefly, I would love you to tell us how Olive you flowing with it, because I understand there are people who have gone to buy places that they even don't know what to do with the place. What makes Olive go to Gong, Olive go to Kangudo Road, and other projects that you have you may highlight?
Thank you for that question.
Right.
For us as Olive, we are trying to make sure that you have secured a home for you.
Okay.
A place that you can call home. Specifically, we are targeting Nairobians, because all of our projects, the ones that are in Gong, Kimuka area, they are within what we call the UGB. That is urban growth boundary.
Exactly.
They are within that radius. 47 kilometers. An economy of a city will always impact up to a radius of 50 kilometers.
Right.
And that's why you see satellite towns surrounding Nairobi,
Right.
Kitengera, Kiseria, Ngong, Asaj, Kikuyu, Lemuru, name them.
Right.
And for us as Olive Limited, we have strategically positioned ourselves
Right.
within that radius, what we call the UGB, urban growth boundary.
Right.
And all our projects are within an area that you can develop and also start living immediately.
Yes.
And you see, we are also part of the solution of the issue of housing.
Right.
We, all of us, will not fit in these apartments
Absolutely.
of affordable houses. There are those people who would like to have their standalone
Yes.
homes. And we, as Olive, we are here to give you that very solution.
Okay.
Because we have identified prime areas that have potential of growth and also very high return on investment
Right.
of whatever you are investing in.
Okay.
So within our projects, and I would like to encourage our viewers that come and view our project where they are, and you will see definitely you will love them, you will like them, and you will see them.
You know what? Given another opportunity, I would love to sit you down and expound more on this. Why? Because I think the information you're getting from Bonagitao is something that is deeper. You know, the government will not tell us some of these things, and also you'll not get it in books. Why? Because these are systems, and systems, of course, are people, and we need to understand all these narratives, the realities on ground, and all this. Mr. Gitao, with your permission, I beg maybe to come back some other day, if you allow me. Thank you so much for keeping it here, The Realtor. This is where we demystify things and matters that concern your journey to large investment. I know we have not touched about, the foreign